I'm studying Plato. The same man that's telling me that he's studying Plato is eating bacon and eggs. The first person he should have studied was who? Himself. But that person was removed from him. And now we are vulnerable. We are vulnerable with this so devastating thing we call disease that goes deeper than you and I would ever realize. It goes so deep. Disease goes so deep. First, it does one thing. Above all, it breaks your energy. It takes away your energy first. Then it breaks your will. And then it begins to eat more away on you. It's going to own you now. It's going to make you hate yourself for the rest of your life until you die. I know I was on the verge of killing myself because I was diabetic. At 29, diabetic. Asthmatic from birth. Impotent at 29. Could not have sex, but was not afraid to talk about it. Because many men have a problem with that. Oh, they talk about their arm is no good. They talk about being diabetic. But when you talk about sex, no way. You don't get any man to talk about that. Yet it is the very thing that begins to divide his house. But the poor individual doesn't know that it's not his fault. And having poor sex is just as bad as having poor eyes or hating your neighbor. It stems from the same cause. The same cause. Now we understand why we said that the 21st Consortium is presenting the speech that shows how genetics dictate our nutrition for our survival into the 21st century. Are we going to continue on the same path that we have been on for the last 400 years? We cannot talk about prior 400 years because we live in the forest and we didn't have any potatoes and we didn't have any carrots. I know I was in the market today and someone was selling a whole lot of ham hocks. But there was a man that walked this morning. This brother walked in this vegetable place. He's right there off of Stony Island and on 87. And I was in there watching these people buy these ham hocks. And I said to Naima, how beautiful it would be if we could reach our sisters and tell them not to eat that. She would not have those varicose veins. The brother would not be sexless where he have to worry about tumors in his prostate gland. You know how many men survive 55 without having prostate problems? And we hide it. We hide it because it's a disgrace, not realizing that it's the same society that you want to defend has afflicted that on us. That's why I was impotent. I was impotent, diabetic, asthmatic from birth, wearing glasses at 27. I was going to India, and I said, damn it, I'm going to blow my brains out. 4 wives and left me now, I just can't live anymore. Why? Because I too traveled the road, the only road that was given to us. And that road is who? The doctor. After seeing 5 urologists, endocrinologists, seeing respiratory therapists, my lungs, I couldn't tie my shoes. Now, there's a young man who was teaching at Harvard University by the name of Harold Evans. Harold used to have to come to my house and tie my shoe because I couldn't bend to tie my shoe. And then that's the society, that's the same society that we defend. The one that has enslaved our forebearers and allowed them to eat the food that you so like that is killing us now. That is the journey that I do not like to see. No, there's something that we make. We know will be killed. But you know why those people were killed? I had to stomp on them. I had to break their backs. I had to stay on their heads. I had to threaten them. I threatened them with some of the most absurd things. To have them not to eat that stuff that I know is dangerous. And that was the beginning of these people that was healed of AIDS, of blindness, of diabetes, of sickle cell, of a whole bunch of disease. They stopped eating the stuff that the slave master gave us, and that is the stuff that we fight to maintain today. So what are we to do now? We have the cure. But the cure needs you. The cure needs you more than it needs me. I have to get on it. Last night someone called. Did you hear someone call last night on the radio? Is someone in here heard the program last night? Did you hear when the gentleman called and said that his aunt or his wife or his grandmother, the grandmother of the lady said that when she took the substance, that her pressure went up, her sugar went up, and she was dying, and they had to rush her to the hospital. And I said, I bet the doctors did not do anything. What did he do? Could not do anything. But she used that. And I know it must have affected a lot of people. She just came to me. The man said that she got a treatment. And then she got the second treatment. Why would he accept a second treatment if the first failed? You see, he was telling on himself, but he didn't hear that. And I tried to talk to him nice because he deserved that from me. I know where he lived. That man that called last night was eating meat. You know how I know he was a meat eater? He didn't have to tell me that. Because if his aunt took the stuff, just for a month since I've been coming to Chicago, she's been seeing the doctors for 20 or 30 years, and he gives me a month to condemn me. If he was not eating meat, you'd think that he would put more common sense into it? Sure he would have. Realize more. Understand more. But now, that is why it is so important that we understand what is nutrition. Consistent with who? Am I supposed to eat carrots? Yes. Why? Because they're good for your eyes. No good again, just like the comfort. But that is all the information that we have. And when someone like myself and the Usha Institute that I represent come forth and say, no, you're not eating the food that is consistent with you. Well, God made everything, and everything he made was good. That is true. But God ain't made no carrots. He ain't made no hog. He ain't made no cow. He ain't made no beets. He ain't made no rice. He ain't made no wheat. Now, you're smart? Take that. What you mean God didn't make that? No stuff. You didn't know God did not make that. Oh, you thought that he made that. Well, where did you get that thought from? Who put that thought into your head? That God made rice and flour, wheat. You see? And then, what is so much more devastating is that when this truth comes out, or this statement is made, was anger level towards the bearer of that statement. Anger. Anger that is necessary. Placed there by meat. 400 years of eating meat and starch. Remember what happened to us. Remember when we were brought from Africa, Africa did not have cassava. But yet if you go to Africa right now and ask someone from Nigeria, what's your main food? Gari, baby. Gari. Gari is my food. And then you say gari. Well, yes, it is the tradition of my people. You know, Africans always get away with that word. Tradition? No, we want to know, is this stuff consistent with life or not? Not about your tradition, because as far as tradition is concerned, you have a Ubangi woman with a lip this big, and you put plates in it to get it big. Why do you do that? That's tradition too. But you disfigure the lady. It is the tradition of the people that I was born in Central America to give you the same thing, ham hocks. You know how I felt when my grandmother had ham hocks in her beans? Like we were actually living. At least we have some meat in the beans. And my grandmother was poisoning her grandson, which was me. But my grandmother loved me. So is my mother. So your mother. So all our mothers. There isn't any black mother that doesn't love her child, even those who want crack. No. She's on crack because the society placed her there. She has AIDS because the society created the AIDS. But don't tell me a black mother hates her children. That is unnatural. But my grandmother fed me milk and had me with asthma. Am I supposed to condemn my grandmother for give me such garbage? No, my grandmother just simply did not know. And where did my grandmother get that information from? From the same individual that enslaved her great-grandfathers and mothers. But now the time has come that the information has to be questioned. And we have got to now, we have got to indict the community, the leaders of our community, the physicians, the politicians.